What's up, boys? It's Nick from Team Table 501 here. I'm the king of the scrubs, and I'm back with round number 9 of the Crush Card Cup match analysis. And today, we have me on Salamangreat against my opponent on Water. Now, this is pre-Eternity Code, so there's no deep sea nonsense. This is just good old-fashioned Water. And let's get started. Oh, so what happened was, we actually played Game 1, and I disconnected before I could kill my opponent. And so me and my opponent talked about it over Facebook, and my opponent's like, yeah, no, I'll give you the win. You definitely had lethal. If it wasn't for a disconnect, you would have it. And so we start the match at Game 2, actually. I'm going second, and my opponent's just going to do the Mermail combo because I did not open a hand trap, which feels real bad. Diva, Neneptibus, Teus, Dragoons, blah, blah, blah. There's Megalo. Link summon Needle Fiber, summon Blaster. Is it Blaster or is it something else? They summon Launcher. And then they make the Boojin Link, which they're going to get a thing out of their graveyard. Moon Glacia gets 2 cards out of my hand. Megalo adds Cetus. They have a Dweller that shuts off my graveyard. And now there's a Dragite with a Spell and Trap Negate. So I'm playing against a Spell and Trap Negate, no graveyard, 2 cards looped out of my hand, and this pile of garbage. So they let the upstart resolve. They go into Desert Locust. I have to discard another card, and that's when I'm like, yep, I'm done. Let's go to Game 3. So, but this time I'm going first, and as you can see, I've opened my ace in the hole, Summon Limit. This is a card I have fallen in love with recently because of the combo heavy nature of Yu-Gi-Oh! At the moment. Every single deck is trying to summon, God, what, 20 times in a turn? 25 times in a turn? So Summon Limit just says, no, you're not doing any of that. And because of how homogenized the format is, people just don't have Cosmic Cyclones in their deck anymore, especially in their combo decks. They have like Dark Ruler No More and Lightning Storm and stuff like that. So that's my aside. This card is fantastic. You should play it. And so I'm the control deck here. I have a bunch of, I have 5 pieces of interaction. There's next to nothing my opponent can do. And the reason I ended on this board was for 2 reasons. 1, I wanted to keep both of my trap cards live. And 2, it plays around... What does it play around? It plays around... Why can I not think right now? As I'm going through the thing in my head, right, I should have just made a second Phalanx here, so that both my cards are live even through a Kaiju, but what I'm not going to beat is like a Kaiju plus a Lightning Storm. But I would have been able to beat that if I just made a second Phalanx, but I didn't. So I get Kaiju, they Diva, I Impermit, they summon Swap Frog, and I flip the Summon Limit, which they should not have been able to summon the Frog at all because the Kaiju was a summon, but we missed it, that's fine. So I go for Jaguar's Effect here. They banish it, and again, I have a bunch of interaction. So I just, I pass. So they try to kill Summon Limit, I roar it, I Ash Diva, they summon Ronin and pass, I have a Gazelle, I send a trap, and we go to the beatdown step of the game. So as long as this rage is, they summon Dragoons, I Foolish Falco, set my trap again, and this is the end of the game, basically. So they summon Neptibus, I let it go through. They get a Lapis Dragon off of the Dragoons. They summon it. It has 2600 defense. And so now I'm just digging for something. And Foul is exactly what I needed. And now I can swing for lethal. So. And this is, we just talk about Yu-Gi-Oh! Here in the chat. I talked about how. This is actually what it was. So when I saw Dragite in Game 2, Dragite has an effect where you can excavate 5 cards. And then you bounce monsters on the field, I believe, equal to the number of rocks you excavate. So, because it's a pseudo-combo mirror, or a pseudo-combo mirror, like, Salad obviously loses to Nibiru. So if they have Nibiru in their deck, and they end on a Dragite, and then Dragite adds a Nibiru, even if I break their board, I'm going to get Nibiru'd. So if I end on 4 cards, I can't get Nibiru'd. So the Jaguar is the 4th summon. So I lose to Kaiju plus Lightning Storm, but I don't lose to Nibiru. And in hindsight, that's probably incorrect. I probably should have just made the second Phalanx, and if they have the Nibiru, then they have the Nibiru. I still have Summon Limit and Imperm, and if they can play through that, they can play through that. So maybe I was playing a little too cautiously there. And then the rest was just talking about, like, how like this matchup is like very polarizing in that it really requires the salad player to draw a lot of interaction. Otherwise, well, oh, I'm sorry, I zoned out. It just comes down to how much interaction the salad player does. Because as you can see, I drew 5 pieces of interaction this game, and they just couldn't win. And then game 2, I drew 0 pieces of interaction, so they just got to win the game. And game 1 was pseudo similar to this. Basically, what happened was, I stopped their first 2 things. I couldn't do anything. I go for the transcode OTK, and then I just like lose my internet, which is a big sad. But anyway, I'm sorry for the very what's the word I'm looking for? Very not entertaining kind of match. That's just the way that this matchup kind of goes. Really against any combo deck, it's like you either stop them from comboing or they full combo you and you lose 4 cards out of your hand. And that's just the way it goes sometimes. So thank you guys so much for watching anyway, and I will be back with round number 10.